Hi, this is Matthew Cratter from Trader University. And today I want to talk about exactly when to buy a stock. And I think there's an interesting trading pattern here that someone just sent me. This is a tweet by Mark Minervini that someone just sent me. We're looking at the stock Zscaler, ticker ZS. And this is what Mark calls a volatility contraction pattern. Now, this normally occurs at the end of a market correction or a sell-off in a stock. So we're going to dig down into this chart and see what Mark's talking about. I think it's a useful pattern that I haven't talked about before. So this is Zscaler. We've got the blue line is the 50-day moving average. The red line is the 200-day moving average. This is a relatively new IPO. It IPO'd last year. And then as the market sold off in the fourth quarter of last year, this stock also sold off. So we're going to look at how this pattern works. Basically, we're looking for a sell-off pattern where the volatility is contracting. So we can see that the first big leg was from, call it, end of August through middle of November. We've got a big sell-off here. We bottomed. And then we got a bounce. Bounce going up this direction. Now we have a lower low here. It's lower than this one. And then we also, we sell off again. But this time we don't go quite as far as we did last time. So basically big sell-off, smaller sell-off. In other words, volatility is compressing. It's getting lower. And the other way to look at this is that we have a low and then a higher low. So here's the big move, reaction, and then a smaller move down. And then we have another sort of reaction upwards. And then we get sort of a range or a box here. And this is what you normally get after. So you want to see this pattern of sell-offs that are less deep each time as volatility contracts. And then you want a trading range where the volume drops, as it did here. And what this pattern helps to show us is that it helps to show stocks that are under accumulation by institutional investors. So what happens is you will have a sell-off, but the stock will not go down as much as the market, or it will bottom before the market bottoms, because you have institutional buyers who are buying every dip. And as they buy every dip, it becomes more and more difficult for the stock to hit new lows, which is why you get this pattern here of a low and then a higher low. And then what happens is you generally get a sideways trading, as whenever the stock dips down here, the institutions come in and are buying, because institutions obviously they can't just place one buy order. They need to build up a big position over time. Now the buy signal occurs at the end of this box when you get a spike in volume and you get a breakout from the box. And this is the day, if you go back and look at Mark Minervini's tweet, this is where he says he bought here. We're looking at that bar right there, that breakout bar. And so what you want to see is a breakout from this box on higher than normal volume. And when this happens, you'd like the stock to be above the 50-day moving average and the 50-day moving average to be above the 200-day moving average. So that's the basic principle. We're looking for stocks where volatility is contracting because you have institutions buying on every dip. Volatility becomes much lower. And what's nice about this is you can set your stop at the low of this box. So it's a fairly tight stop. You could even set it at the high of the box, depending how you want to be. So let's just scroll back out here and we'll see what happened to the stock. So we were buying right here. Let me see if I can scroll out. So you can see then this is where we were buying. Right here, using the system. Here's the box. And when we broke out of that box, you can see again higher than normal volume. That's when the stock really began its move upwards. And you got a nice earnings gap right here. The market was already beginning to anticipate that, and institutions obviously in this case knew what they were doing. So I think this is an interesting pattern. Thanks to Mark for pointing this out, and thanks to the people who forwarded me this chart. I talk a lot about momentum stocks and different strategies for trading them. You should check out my courses on Trader University. And I'll stick a link in the description notes below if you want to check out my different courses: swing trading with options, price action trading, and then my flagship course, Learn to Trade Stocks Like a Pro. Please ask any questions in the comments below that you might have. And please like this video if you found it helpful, and also subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this going forward. Feel free to drop your suggestions into the comments below what you'd like to see in my next video, or if you have questions about this video that I can answer in my next video. Thanks a lot for listening.